Welcome to Big B Daily. No frauds allowed.
Hello. What is going on, man? This is Big B, Brian Hanley. Thank you guys for joining Big B Daily Show, man. I appreciate it. We are live on TikTok. We are live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. Thank you guys for joining. Again, as always, anybody that's over on TikTok and you're not following, please give me a follow. And then shoot on over to YouTube, man. Come subscribe to the page over there. Big B Sports Talk. Subscribe, join the chat. The chat is always up and going, man. Always up and going over on YouTube. Facebook, do the same thing. I appreciate you guys. Oh, let's get into this. Also, make sure you always check out my man Hot Soup. Hot Soup is on TikTok. He's on YouTube as well. Hot Soup Fantasy Football. The guy is a genius. Man. Any of your fantasy football needs, go subscribe to Hot Soup Fantasy Football. So, all right. So, college football this weekend. Let's start off with college football. Colorado and Colorado State. So, there's a lot of people that have told me that they didn't. First off, let's talk about the cheap shot. It was at 100%. It was a cheap shot. It absolutely was. I don't want to hear about anything other than it was a cheap shot. Because if you're saying it wasn't a cheap shot, then you're lying. Some people are saying, oh, you got to toughen up. Toughen up? The guy's a lacerated liver. What am I supposed to do about that? Toughen up. I'm like, what? And yes, Shedeur Sanders poked another kid in the eye. He did that. That's Bush League as well. But don't tell me that play on Travis Hunter wasn't a cheap shot. It was. But I think the bigger issue is that Colorado, the hype train's got to slow down. The hype train on Coach Prime in Colorado has to slow down. Because I don't believe that Colorado State, that is that good of a football team. We got to slow it down, man. I love Coach Prime. I want Coach Prime to win every game. Because he's changing the way college football is done. He's changing it, and I love it. He's disrupting it based on the rules. I love it. So I want him to win, but I'm also a realist. And Oregon this week, Oregon's going to put it on Colorado. I'm just telling you, Oregon is going to put it on Colorado. Do I want that to happen? No. Do I think that's going to happen? Yes. Because we saw TCU run the ball at will on Colorado. Well, Oregon runs it better. And Oregon's just going to line up and physically whip Colorado up front. So it's going to be bad. I just think we got to reel it in a little bit. You know, the concert before the game and all of that. Look, it's all fun. But at the end of the day, guess what? It's still a football game. So, got to figure that part of it out. I like Colorado. I like Coach Prime. I like what they're doing. And at the beginning of the year, they're few and far between of people that thought they were going to be 3-0 at this point anyway. Let's just be honest. Everybody thought they were losing to TCU. Most people thought they were going to lose to Nebraska. The one win they gave was to Colorado State. Turns out that was the toughest game that they've had to date. So, got to get that defense under control. That's right. Got to tighten it up because that defense is not good. It's not good. But it's gonna get exploited against Oregon even more. I just got a feeling this one might get away. If they can put up some points to keep it close, that'll be great. But Oregon's a different breed, and they'll be able to, up front on offense and defense, Oregon's got guys. Oregon has got guys. I got a bad feeling. Hopefully they can pull it out, though. But let's move on, man. Let's move on. I debated on bringing this up today, but I got to do it. The Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are playing good football. The Dallas Cowboys are playing good football. That defense is nuts. That defense is nuts. So, as much as we don't like the Cowboys, and y'all know me, I don't like the Cowboys. Let's just be honest. Let's call it what it is. The Cowboys defense is good. Dak is keeping the ball out of harm's way. He's doing what he needs to do to win. And they're playing good football. It's early, but they kind of did what they wanted with the Jets. Now, granted, they got a bunch of turnovers, and the Jets' offense was pathetic. And Jets' offensive line is bad. But the Cowboys took advantage of it. So I like the Cowboys. I like what they're doing so far. Like I said, it's early. It's very early. But Dallas Cowboys are playing good football right now. They're playing good football. They got a good roster, man. They got a good roster. And like I said, it pains me. It pains me. But I picked the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl. So if I'm picking them to go to the Super Bowl, then I can't be too surprised at what they're doing this early in the season. But they're playing well. They're definitely playing well. So moving on. And again, man, let me remind everybody, if you're on TikTok, please give me a follow. The goal, which we've already hit, of likes was 3,500 likes. So let's get to 6,000 likes. Let's bump that up to 6,000. We're looking for 30 follows. So everybody that's over on TikTok, come join the chat, man, over on YouTube. Come subscribe to the page. Links in the bio. YouTube, at Big B Sports Talk. Jump on over. Chat is crazy over on YouTube, man. Anybody on Facebook, do the same. Come subscribe to Big B Sports Talk over on YouTube, man. Everything's free. Y'all know that. So it's easy. It's easy. So moving on. Big B bets. How did we do this weekend? We didn't do great. 50%. 50%. Last week we were better. Some of these upsets, though, I'm like, I thought the Broncos would show some fight. They didn't. I'm like, come on, man. What are we doing? The one team that I think that needed a win and got a tough win on the road was Seattle. I like Seattle. Lions. The Lions, Lions could have done some damage. They had an opportunity to put their best foot forward, and they didn't do it. I don't know if they necessarily gave the game away, but they gave some life to the Seahawks, and the Seahawks just ran right through that door. Green Bay is another one. Up big late. But I told you all to watch Atlanta. I said that Atlanta may not win the division, but Atlanta was going to fight. And damn it, Atlanta is fighting. So they're winning. It wasn't pretty, but they're winning. The Ravens look good. Look, Joe Burrow. Here's the thing about Cincinnati. I would want to be the first person to pile on Cincinnati. But did you all realize this? I read this stat today that Joe Burrow, he's been in the league 4 years. He's 1-7 in the first 2 weeks of the season. 1-7. Now, if you take out the rookie year where he blew out his knee, the other 3 years, well, at least the other 2 years, he made the playoffs. One of those, he went to the Super Bowl. So I wouldn't be too concerned with Joe Burrow just yet and the Bengals. Even though I want the Bengals to stink, I think they're going to get it figured out. So it's crazy what's going on. And some of the teams that are still undefeated. It's wild, man. Washington's still undefeated. Atlanta, Tampa, still undefeated. That's why you go play the games, man. That's why we love NFL. That's why we love it. So, all right. Getting into the Q&A section, man. I appreciate y'all joining. Again, Monday through Friday, Big B's Dailies, 4 p.m. Central Time. We're live on TikTok. We're live on YouTube. Come on over to the YouTube channel. Join in. Come subscribe if you're on TikTok. Give me a follow, then come subscribe over there, man. What's going on, Connor? Let's start over on TikTok today. What do we got? What do we got, TikTok? Let Baker cook. Baker's cooking, ain't he? Baker Mayfield is cooking. Can't take it away from him. Cannot take it away from him. But if you remember, I said if Tampa can run the ball, which turns out they can't run it, but if he's got somebody that can protect, he's going to be okay. And Baker has been okay. He's not turning the ball over. He's playing good football. Through 2 weeks, he's playing good football. So playing good football. I think somebody saying that Tua, yeah, you're right, Troy. Tua is the real deal. And you said it, Troy. You tried to bait me into saying Tua wasn't good, but I never said Tua wasn't good. I said if Tua was healthy, that Tua was great. And he is. He's one of the most accurate passers in the NFL. One of the most accurate passers. As long as he can stay healthy, Miami has to be dealt with. Miami has to be dealt with. Let's go over to TikTok, man. Or I'll go over to YouTube. Sorry, see what we got. My man Quiggle is saying Alabama is a fraud. So what do y'all think? TikTok, is Alabama a fraud? Are they on fraud alert? I don't think they are on fraud alert. And you know we do the fraud of the week. We'll do that tomorrow. But I don't think they are necessarily a fraud, especially they dropped them out of the top 10 rankings, which they should have been. But, man, that game, I watched some of that game. I mean, I blame it on Nick Saban. Now, granted, it was horrible conditions. Horrible. But Nick Saban, what you tried to blame the loss to Texas on the quarterback, and it wasn't the quarterback's fault. You have a bad offensive line. Tell me how that's the quarterback's fault, that your offensive line is bad. That ain't the QB's fault. That is not the QB's fault. Okay, let's see if we can. Thoughts on Missouri? I mean, Missouri is fine. I mean, I don't know. They won the game. K-State should have won the game. They gave it away, but Missouri took it away from them too. I mean, a 61-yard field goal to win it. I mean, that's crazy. That is crazy. So give all credit, give all power over to Mizzou. Good for them, man. Good for them. They earned that victory. They earned that victory. LaDon, he writes over here on YouTube, don't write off the Seahawks. No. Seahawks, first of all, I picked them to win the division. That's number one. They needed that game. I don't think they can go 0-2 and still be as effective. So they needed that game yesterday, and they got it. They got it. So good for them. Good for them. And because I think the Lions are good. I know people are jumping off the bandwagon, off the Lions bandwagon. Don't do that. Seahawks are a good football team, man. Seahawks are a good football team. Let's venture over to TikTok. Let's see what we got over here. Even though the Rams lost, I think they're back. I don't know. We'll see. I want to believe that, but we'll see. Zay Flowers is going to be a great player. Absolutely. He's the best receiver on that team. And it's not even close. It's not even close. Odell hurt again. Odell is hurt again. What's new? Crazy. Crazy. What else you got, TikTok? Don't count out the Bills. I don't think anybody's counting out the Bills. I don't think anybody's counting out the Bills. I didn't think they'd win week 1. I didn't know they'd lose it on a punt return in overtime. But I didn't think they'd win week 1 just because of 9/11, Rodgers, and all that stuff. I didn't see Josh Allen playing lousy, but the Bills are going to be fine. The Bills are going to be fine. Colorado is not going to beat Oregon, people. Colorado, I said that earlier in the show. I'm going to say it again. Colorado is not going to beat Oregon. And that game is not going to be particularly close either. I think Oregon puts the hammer down on Colorado. And it's not because I want Colorado to lose. Because I want Colorado to win. I believe in what Deion is doing. I believe in their system. But all you have to do is listen to him. He'll tell you, I need about 6 or 7 more dogs to be able to compete at where we want to compete at. He said it. So if you're going to believe everything that Deion says, but you won't believe that part about what Deion says, then what are we talking about here? I mean, he literally said it. I need 6 or 7 more dudes to be a dog. Okay. I get it. Golf Hawk asking a good question over here. You asked a good question. Who replaces Tomlin? I got the person. Dan Quinn. Nope. And here's the reason why. That is a great question, Golf Hawk. The Steelers since Chuck Noll, they haven't had an offensive-minded quarterback or offensive-minded coach. If they're going to replace Mike Tomlin, they got to replace him with an offensive-minded coach. Head coach. They got to do that. So while Dan Quinn is fine, and I like Dan Quinn, I don't think that's the route that you go. I think you got to go offense this higher. That's where the league is going. And if the league is going to go that way, it's a copycat league. We should go that way. We got a ton of talent on offense too. So the problem with the Steelers, and I'll just say it, we don't know about the quarterback. We don't know if Baby Hands is the guy. If he's the guy, fine. But we just don't know. We don't know if Baby Hands Pickett is the guy. We root for him. We root for him for sure. But we still don't know. We still don't know. Great question, though, Golf Hawk. Great question. What do we got, TikTok? Baker is the next Brady. See? Stop it. Stop the nonsense. Cam Newton is better than Mike Vick all time. Oof. That's a bad take because I'll take Mike Vick all day, every day. All day, every day. Tua. A lot of people talking about Tua today. Tua's that dude. Tua is that dude. Yeah, that's a one thing, Cadillac. The Steelers need a new offensive coordinator. I'm out on Matt Canada. After tonight, I want to see tonight. If I don't see what I like tonight, I'm going to be on the Matt Canada is out of here train. I've been holding off and holding off and holding off. I'm not holding off tonight. If it's not good tonight, I'm not holding off anymore. I'm not holding off anymore. Steelers O-line is bad. It's better. We'll see a little bit tonight. We'll see how it is. So we'll see how it is. They had a run game with James Conner. What do you mean they haven't had a run game since Bell? Yeah, they have. Yeah, they have. UK versus Bama and Georgia. I hope UK loses every game that they play, if that's an answer for you. Let's go Steelers. Yeah. We'll see tonight, man. We'll see tonight. The Steelers We're going to find out what they got tonight. Let's get some questions over here on YouTube, man. Do. Let's see what we got. Jamie Brunson says, "Hail to the Commanders." A lot of y'all on the Commanders? I mean, the Commanders are 2-0. Do they believe? Do we believe in the Commanders? I mean, they beat the Broncos and the Cardinals. Do we believe in the Commanders? I personally don't. I don't. But, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Bradley Ellis. Parity in the NFL is unmatched. Man, Bradley, say it louder, brother. The parity is nuts in the NFL. And that's why we love it. That's why we love it. Because your team can stink one year and the next year you can go to the Super Bowl. That's why we love the NFL. So, love it, love it, love it. Landon asked, do you think that Seattle's win makes them a competitor or competitors? I think Seattle was competitors no matter what. I picked Seattle to win the West over the 49ers. So they needed the win because I don't think you can go down 0-2, even though it wasn't a division 0-2. But I think they needed that win. They got it. Yeah, I like the Seahawks. I like the Seahawks. What do I think? A field goal go down with no time left. I think that's what you're trying to say. I don't know. You had to come back and write it in English, brother. I didn't understand that. Yeah, the Seahawks did get mollywopped at home, but then they came back and beat a good team on the road. It's the NFL, man. Man, Lito, those Chargers are terrible. The Chargers, man, Jiminy Christmas. When are they going to put it together? I thought this was the year. I thought this was the Chargers' last stand. Because there's no way they're going to have Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and all these guys still on the team. I thought this is their year. Turns out, after 2 weeks, it don't look like it. After 2 weeks, it does not look like it. Seth, Tennessee, the ultimate fraud. Yes. Yes. Fraud of the week. Fraud alert. Tennessee. But you know what? I don't know if I can put them on my fraud alert tomorrow because I told y'all that I didn't think Tennessee was very good. I told y'all I didn't think Tennessee was very good. And they got proven to not be very good. Florida just took them behind the shed, beat the brakes off of them, left them out the pasture. Just physically whipped them. Physically whipped them. But somehow, they're still in the top 25. How is that? And just put them side by side with K-State. K-State loses on a 61-yard field goal, the longest field goal in the history of the SEC, to an undefeated team on the road. So they lose by 3. They fall all the way out of the rankings. Tennessee gets embarrassed by a team that we already saw get embarrassed, yet Tennessee's still in the rankings. Ahead of Florida. How? Just, oh my God. I mean, you can't even hide the SEC bias anymore. They can't even hide it. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. But let's push on. Let's push on. Austin says, I'm surprised by how bad the Giants are. It's time to go get a top pick and a new QB. Well, first of all, they're not getting a new QB because they just signed him to $40 million this offseason. So the QB is what it is. The problem with the Giants, which has been the same problem they've had for literally a decade, their offensive line is trash. The Giants have a terrible offensive line. Terrible. So, yeah, man. The Giants are just not good. And yeah, they came back yesterday and beat the Cardinals, but the Cardinals aren't any good. They got the worst roster in football. So, I don't know. Giants are bad. But yeah, they're not getting another quarterback because, again, they just signed their quarterback to $40 million a year. So, Cowboys are looking good, man. Cowboys are looking good. Troy can't look forward to week 4, brother. Week 3's got to happen, and there's going to be a lot that happens in week 3. So, can't pick a game until we know who's playing in week 4. What does Prime do without Travis Hunter? I don't know. I mean, they couldn't cover Colorado State receivers. How are they going to cover Oregon and USC receivers? I don't know. It could get ugly, man. Could get ugly. I don't want it to, but it could. Let's talk about Monday Night Football for a little bit. What questions y'all got about Monday Night Football? I think the Steelers win the game. I think the Steelers fight back and can win this game. I really do. The Steelers got to run the football, and you can run the ball on the Browns. So if they get back and they run the football, they'll win. If they try to drop back and throw it 40 times, the Browns D-line is going to have a field day, and the Steelers can't beat them that way. So that's my personal opinion. If the Steelers get physical up front and run the ball downhill, not trying to do side to side and jet sweeps and just run the ball at the Browns, they can win the game. I don't know anything about Dale Earnhardt not racing, man. I don't know. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's see. What do we got over here on YouTube? How about the Cowboys? The Cowboys are looking good, man. Cowboys are looking good. Luminary Wolf. What are my thoughts on the Colorado hit? I thought it was dirty. I thought it was cheap. I don't think he should be ejected per se, I guess. Unless they're going to change the rules, then yeah. But it wasn't targeting because he didn't lead with his helmet. He didn't hit him in the head. It was a cheap shot. Now, you can say that people have been kicked out of the game for worse, and they have. I just think you need to change the rule. And if you change the rule, then I'm fine with kicking them out of the game. But if you're not going to change the rule, then I'm not fine with taking a kid out of a football game. Because I think the whole targeting rule has to be changed. Shouldn't be kicking kids out of the game for that either. Shouldn't be kicking them out of the game. But I do see your point. If you can kick a kid out for targeting, then why the heck can't you kick this kid out for what he did? Yeah, I get that. And I don't disagree with it either. Thought it was dirty. Let's push on. Oregon's going to kill Colorado in the trenches, but I think Colorado will keep their game competitive. I hope they can keep it competitive. But here's the thing. Colorado's offensive line is not good. And Oregon's defensive line is very good. I think they get after Shedeur. Because Colorado already can't run the football at all. I mean, they couldn't run it against Colorado State, Nebraska, TCU. They can't run the football. So I take that back. They did run it against TCU, but not against Nebraska and not against Colorado State. So, man, I think it could get ugly. I do. I don't want it to get ugly, but I think it could get ugly. I really do. We'll see, though. We will see. Seth over on YouTube. Big B, why isn't Juju being more of a factor with the Patriots? Because Juju Smith-Schuster is not that good of a receiver. He's basically a tight end that plays out wide, but he's not as fast or as crafty as Travis Kelce. So, yeah, there you go, Trill. Juju has never been that good. He was good his rookie year when he played with Antonio Brown because all the attention went to Antonio Brown and Juju was beating one-on-one coverage on the other side. Good for him. But as soon as the attention got placed on him, he's not that good of a receiver. If he does a lot of crazy TikTok videos, Juju is basically a number 2, high-end number 3 receiver. That's what he is. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be in the league or nothing stupid like that. But let's just call him what he is. Just call him what he is, man. So, Baker is cooking. Yeah, Baker Mayfield is cooking, man. We got to admit it. We got to admit it. Baker Mayfield is cooking. He's playing well. He's playing well. So you can't take it away from him. Because when he plays bad, we jump on his head. Well, dag on it. He's playing good. We got to give him his praise. So Lamar did play pretty good. It wasn't a crazy Lamar stuff. It seems like Lamar is playing a little close to the vest, but they're winning. He's doing fine. Yeah, I played Burrow again yesterday. They're doing fine. Again, man, let me tell you guys, let me remind you guys again, thank you guys for joining the Big B Daily Show. Again, everybody on TikTok, if you're in the chat, please give me a follow. But more importantly, jump on over to YouTube, man. The link is in my bio. Go over to YouTube and subscribe to Big B Sports Talk over there, man. The chat over there is crazy. It's crazy. Better things to see, much more things to see. Your questions always get put up on the screen if they're good. So it's just good interaction, better interaction over there. So, all right, let's jump back in. Vincent Gonzalez, my man, over on YouTube says Cowboys, Eagles, who wins the division? I still think it's the Cowboys. I still think the Cowboys win the division. First, if we just look at the first 2 games, the Cowboys have played better than the Eagles. The Eagles have just gotten by. They've just gotten by. Doing enough to beat average football teams, to below average football teams. They've just gotten by. Dallas has looked dominant in their 2 games. Now, a lot can change. A lot can change. But just looking at it from the outside in right now, yeah, Dallas. And I picked Dallas to go to the Super Bowl, so I can't back out now, man. Can't back out now. The Bengals got robbed on the Burrow deal? I don't think they got robbed. I mean, it's 2 games in, man. Where would that franchise be without Joe Burrow? Stop that. Stop that. Yeah, a lot of people asking about that Colorado hit. I mean, I just think they should change the rules. If they change the rules, then you could throw the guy out. Because again, we've seen kids get kicked out of football games for some of the BS targeting calls that get made for way less than what this kid did. But let's talk about that for a second. Because I've seen a lot of people say that because the kid was running his mouth, he got what he deserved. Who's on that train? Who's on that train? That if you run your mouth, you get what's coming to you. Who's living in that world? Because there's a lot of people that kept saying that to me. And I'm like, since when did me running my mouth and you not being able to control your emotions, you take a cheap shot at me after the whistle? When does it mean that? I don't know. I don't know. Quiggle. Yeah, buddy. Notre Dame versus Ohio State this weekend at Notre Dame. I want to see this one. I want to see this one. I think Notre Dame gives Ohio State everything that they want and more. I like Notre Dame's offense. I think their defense is going to be able to slow down what Ohio State's doing. I'm picking Notre Dame right now. I am picking Notre Dame to win that game. And y'all know me, I am not a Notre Dame fan. I'm not a Notre Dame fan, but I am picking the Irish to win this football game. I like what they're doing on offense. I like their defense. They haven't really been tested. I will say that, but neither is Ohio State. Let's just be honest. But I'm picking Notre Dame. Notre Dame. What do we got over here on TikTok, man? What do y'all got? What do y'all got? What do y'all got? Nobody over there? All right. Let's go over here. Golf Hawk, my man again. The Falcons are 2-0. Gutsy 4-down call. Yeah, it was. Are the Falcons for real? Thoughts on the QB's growth? Now, here's the thing. Y'all know I was down on Ritter. But he's played well the first 2 weeks. He hasn't done anything to lose him the football games. And he's growing. He's growing on me. Now, I don't know if they're for real, because I still don't believe that the Packers are for real after that shellacking of the Bears. We see what the Bears are. So I'm still not positive of that. But what I am positive is that I did say the Falcons were going to fight for that division. And it looks like they're fighting for it. It's still early, but they're fighting. They're fighting. I like what the Falcons are doing. Y'all don't sleep on the Falcons, man. Don't sleep on the Falcons. Justin Fields not going to win the MVP. Sorry. He's not going to win the MVP. Doo-doo-doo-doo. MJ says his grandma can throw the ball faster than Justin Fields. See, MJ, it's dumb comments like that, man. Nobody's talking about Justin Fields' arm strength. Everybody knows he's got a cannon for an arm. Stop with the dumb stuff. See, every now and then when you come over to YouTube, I'll put your dumb comment up. So I'd give you a Steelers take. Najee ain't it. And he may never be it. Big miss at that pick. Warren's better, faster, better vision. I don't agree, or I don't disagree, Austin, with any of that about Najee Harris, except Warren isn't a better over. I still think Najee is better. Warren's more explosive, and he's definitely faster. But Najee is big, and he runs hard, but it's hard to run where there's nothing to run behind. So I love the hot take, Austin. I love it. But I would take Najee over Warren right now because, again, Warren, you're going to give him 25, 30 touches a game. I don't know that that's would be his strength to do that. I don't know if it would be. I don't think it would be. Saquon, I heard, is out 3 weeks. Got hurt on a throwaway play at the end of the game, too. That just sucks. Sprained ankle on a BS throwaway play at the end of the game. They're just trying to line the ball up, run some time off the clock to kick a field goal. Ugh. Hold on. Big KY said that Jordan Love looks like the best QB in the league right now. Did he look like that at the end of the game? I'm curious. Because he didn't. Come on, man. No. Played well, yes. Best QB in the league. Stop it. Well, Gibbs may get his chance to be running back number 1 with the Lions because I heard, oh boy, Montgomery's going to be out a couple weeks. So we'll see. Thoughts on the Patriots and Dolphins game? I thought it was a good football game. Christian Gonzalez, I believe, is the truth. You saw him out there cover. Now, he had a ton of safety help, don't get me wrong. But he did his thing. I like him. That's a Steelers miss. We moved up to take Broderick Jones, who's not even playing, and could have had Gonzalez as our starting corner. Ugh. Do-do-do-do. 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 So we got a new viewer here, man. No Ramirez Perez over on YouTube. Thank you for joining, man. Said he's a new viewer. What's your team, college and NFL? I am a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and I love the University of Louisville, and I love Kansas State. I'm from Louisville, so I've been a fan literally my entire life, but I went and played football at Kansas State, so I love K-State as well. So that's the reasoning why I love two college teams. And I know people are asking, well, why didn't you go to Louisville? You're from Louisville. Why didn't you go there and play? It's because Louisville at the time when I was going to school, which 97, 98, they sucked. They absolutely sucked. So why go there and get your head beaten in? Didn't want to do that. Didn't want to do that. David Carter says the Tampa Bay Bucks are going to win out the division. I think they'll fight. So I think they got a chance. I think it'll be a 3-team race. The Saints, the Falcons, and the Bucks. We'll see how real the Bucks are when they play somebody decent, but I like their chances fighting. I did not play with Sproles. Sproles is a lot younger than me. A lot younger. Jalen Ramsey going to upgrade the Dolphins' defense? He would, but Jalen Ramsey's not playing football this year, people. He had a meniscus, and he's not coming back until the end of December. He's not playing football this year. So even if he were to come back that late, how effective do you expect him to be? I thought when Jalen Ramsey, I had to pick them to win the division. And they still may win the division. But with him out, we'll see. We'll see. Do-do-do-do. What do we got over here on YouTube, man? Jason Parkinson. He is a new follower, man. I appreciate it. You're here from Rico. Yeah, my boy Rico. I love Rico. I love Rico Knows, man. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Rico's that dude. Rico is that dude. I love talking college football with him, too. So he knows his stuff. I feel like I know mine, too. Another shout out, man. Again, anybody that is over on TikTok, thank you guys, man. We're almost to 6,000 likes. We're getting there. We're about 400 away. And looking for 30 follows. So anybody that's in here, give me a follow and then shoot on over to YouTube. The link is in my bio. Come subscribe to the page, man. I appreciate it. James Conner looked good this week. Yes, he did. Here's a question. LSU will bounce back from my man Droz. LSU will bounce back from FSU and make the playoff. Win the SEC. They're not going to win the SEC because they're not going to beat Georgia. I believe they can bounce back, but I'm going to say this. Until I'm proven otherwise, the SEC is overrated. This year, the SEC is overrated. That doesn't mean every year. That doesn't mean every past year. And also for people that think that because Georgia is the best team in the country, that means they play in the best conference in the country. It absolutely doesn't mean that. It just means they are the best team. But I would be willing to say LSU doesn't believe that it's better than Florida State right now, and they don't play in the same conference. So we can say whatever we want. The SEC is overrated. It is not the best conference this year. Just not. And just because Georgia plays in it, or they give you those phony rankings down at the bottom and put teams that shouldn't be ranked and rank them, like Tennessee and Florida at 23 and 25, that doesn't mean that they're the best conference. Because Florida shouldn't be ranked. Tennessee shouldn't be ranked. It's unbelievable. The SEC West is bad. That used to be the best division in football. Now you got A&M, bad. Mississippi State, bad. Ole Miss, average. Arkansas, below average. Alabama, frauds, maybe. And LSU, frauds. Come on. Tell me how good that conference is again. You got Georgia and that's it. Let it go. Let it go. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Ole Miss wins the West. They got to win this weekend. If they beat Bama this weekend, I think they got a shot. They got a shot. Still got to play LSU. They got a shot. What's up, Bear? Oregon, Colorado? Yeah, Oregon, I think, wins big. I think wins big, man. Think it's going to be brutal, too. Just physically going to get whipped, unfortunately. What do you got over here on TikTok? From my man Seth. SEC overrated, but Big B's team just got beat by SEC. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. So because my team lost to an SEC team, that means that the SEC is not overrated? Is that what you're saying? Because that's a dumb argument. That's a real dumb argument, Seth. I mean, I'll just throw that out there. That's a dumb one. And I think you know better than that. Because, I mean, what if my team was Vandy? What if my team was Vandy? Vandy just lost to UNLV. So what does that mean? Exactly. I told y'all, if you make dumb comments, I'll call out your dumb comments. Doo-doo. With all the injuries, do you think Leonard Fournette plays this season? I don't think so. He may play later on down the road, but I think teams are just kind of over what he brings to the table. I think they're just past it, unfortunately, because I think he can still play, but you know how teams are with running backs, man. Do I think the CSU player should be thrown out of football? No. Not throwing a kid out of football. Not throwing him out of football. Oh, here's a good one. My man Quiggle. Did McVay know the spread? That's why he kicked the field goal. It seems that way, doesn't it? It seems that way, that he knew what the spread was and kicked the field goal. Because otherwise, what's the point? I mean, they couldn't win. You knew that this field goal was going to take 4 seconds. It seems that way. I'm not usually a conspiracy theory guy, but we'll see, man. We will see. Golf Hawk over on YouTube, man, as Georgia's like Clemson in the ACC National Championship level in a subpar conference. That's what it seems like this year. When Clemson was rolling, that's exactly what this seemed like. Is that Georgia was the team, but the rest of the conference just wasn't that good. You're 100% right, Golf Hawk. 100% right. So, we'll see. We will see. All right, guys. I appreciate everybody. I'm going to jump off here. Appreciate everybody joining for Big B Daily Show, man. Thank you. Again, everybody we're live Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Central. We're live on TikTok. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. I hope that everybody that's in the live that is on TikTok, that you join us over on YouTube. That chat, it's just a better chat. But whatever floats your boat. But come on over to YouTube, man. The chat is great. More things to see. A lot of stuff over there. A lot of interaction. Put your question and statement up, and we have a good time. So I appreciate you guys, man. Tomorrow, Fraud of the Week. Fraud of the Week. Y'all know about Fraud of the Week. So I will holler at you guys, man. Y'all guys have a good one.